I'm the co-founder of one of a company called Pycno. Basically what Pycno does is to bring technology to farmers so they can help take better informed decisions. So basically what it is, it's a sensor that gives you information from remote locations, so it helps you know when to irrigate, when to fertilize, and that way try to use less resources in this world today. So today we're going to talk basically a bit of the importance of data in agriculture. And we divided this presentation in three. The first one will be a bit of ourselves, how we started and how are we doing today. The second one will be the importance and the impact of data today in society, followed later on by some case studies on how we help some farmers with our products. So just diving in, once again, my name is Nahuel, and I was born in a farm back in Argentina. And there is really where my passion with agriculture started. I spent there most of my childhood, and until I had the opportunity to go to Europe and study robotics. Is there really when I met my co-founder, my current co-founder, which he also has some agricultural background, that we decided to join both of our passions, technology and agriculture, to solve one of the biggest issues in this century, which is food security. And that's how we started. So the first thing that we did is to talk to as many people in the market and try to see exactly what sort of product they needed to be able to take better informed decisions on their farms. And that's why we ended up with the ultimate weapon. Basically a sensor that measures key components of the soil and the air and sends you with the least amount of maintenance and the easiest way to use this information from wherever you are in the world in real time. But we don't stop just there, we don't give you all the data. We also provide you with a platform where you can visualize all this information and also provide you with valued analytics and calculations. Things like growing degree days, we follow your physiological stages, and we give you best practices on how to grow your food in the most efficient way. Some other things that we provide too is the prediction of diseases. We give you notifications when there's the ability of frost happening, etc., etc. So just to give you an example, here we have some of our examples that we did in Argentina over a year ago, and we could see how just by using this product, these people were actually increasing the quantity and the quality of their harvest, but also reducing the amount of expenses, things like water, electricity from pumping water, the amount of fertilizers, pesticides that they put in their fields. Which, just to give you some numbers, in just 3 months they were able to pay for the cost of the sensors. People ask us, do you have any sort of competition? And sure there are, but the problem that we see is that it's so sophisticated, that they are so complicated to use, understand, they are so expensive, and that's why we try to shrink everything of all the components from our competitors into bringing this product into your hands. We currently have over 250 sensors scattered around the world. As you see there in the map, we have some here in Puerto Rico, in the area of Salinas, also in the UP RM in Mayagüez. And well, basically here what you can see is that as we have the sensor in many areas, basically we are proving that there's a worldwide demand for these kind of devices. And also we want to show our passion because we don't want to make just a sensor for the highest 1% of the population. We are here trying to solve a worldwide problem, showing that this device can be used by absolutely everywhere. You can see people in India, in Nigeria, in South Africa also using these devices. So going forward, we're going to talk now about data. Basically data, as you see, is basically a collection of facts, numbers, words, and measurements that has been processed so that the computers can use. And no matter in which industry you are or where you come from, but surely you have been using data in some sort of way so that it actually influenced you. So in this example, for example, you can see Google Maps showing the information on some traffic. So I'm sure here in Puerto Rico too, we have a lot of traffic, and you have to decide on where to go. And all of this information that is coming from these marvelous devices that we have in our pockets is giving all this information online, so literally it's being processed so that you can take better informed decisions on where to go. And we're using all of this information today, here, every day. More examples you can see in these sort of health trackers that tell you exactly your bit rates, for how long you sleep, if you sleep very deeply or not, etc., etc. And finally, for example, we all have been bombarded by these kind of ads. But these kind of ads normally are so targeted to you because in the cloud there's so much information about your needs and wants. So all of this actually is just to make sure you understand how much are we bombarded and how much are we showing the world about information and how much it impacts us today and how important it is. Because today this is how cities look like. We are uploading information about absolutely everything to the cloud. And my point here is that because we're putting so much information here in the cities, in agriculture, we are actually not getting any sort of information. We are doing things blindly, and we don't know exactly if what we're doing is correct or not. And that really is what Pycno is all about. In Pycno, what we want to do is provide with information in the easiest way possible, so that farms can also look like this. And you can be able to take better informed decisions on how to use these valued resources that we have in this world. This is one of our customers here in Salinas. They have watermelons there, they planted over 9 sensors there. So this is like the process of someone that installs our sensor. They put it in the ground, they hide there, and later they go online and they can see exactly the position of the sensors, and you can see there some heat maps too. That in red you can see the areas where there's more temperature, for example, or more stress of water, and there in the upper side you can see that it's more green, meaning that actually it's colder. So this is how we represent data so that anyone can understand it. Because really, those 9 sensors are actually showing something like this, which is an absolute nightmare. But the reason why this is an absolute nightmare is because we are not used on seeing data this way. I'm sure this happens all of the time too. Each time we buy a new device or we change from iOS to Android, we also have to get used to that, to how this device works. And this is the same thing here. So for example, I'm going to take one of those graphs, show you the whole harvest season, and we're going to go step by step on how this person used our products and how all of his decision making went and how from what he was. We're going to show you how much he actually saved on today, thanks to this information. So here what we see basically is the amount of water in the soil. Of course, both graphs, one shows our value at 20 centimeters deep in the soil. The bottom graph shows you 40 centimeters beneath the soil. The higher the value, of course, the more water is in the soil, the less amount of water. And you can see there is about 5 or 6 months period of harvest. So if you can see in the first part of the graph on the left, you can see all of those peaks. What those peaks really represent is each irrigation schedule that this person was actually doing in their farm. The first thing that you can see is basically how fast it goes up and down. That by experience, it represents that actually they're wasting so much water because it's so much water in the soil, it just runs very quickly and it's just being wasted. Water, electricity and everything absolutely being wasted. So this person has been for the last 3 years since they installed irrigation doing it this way, and he was happy with it. But he said that he wanted to see how well he was doing. So very skeptical, after 2 weeks of showing his information, we told him that he should be irrigating less. So very skeptical, he said, okay, I'm going to irrigate instead of twice a day, only once a day. See what happens. And in the second part, you can see how the frequency of those peaks are less because he's irrigating less. But you can see that still those peaks are very sharp and steep. So later on we're talking, so why don't you irrigate once every 3 days, see what happens. And then is when you start seeing how the water content in the soil starts going down. And you can see some little peaks, which is when he irrigates. And you can see here how basically all the water is being used so much better, and it's being so much more efficient that in the whole harvest he maintains this sort of irrigation, and the big peaks that you see is rain. So basically he's here doing it in a very efficient way, how to actually grow food. And he went from irrigating twice every day to once every 3 days. That means 6 times less in the price of water, electricity being pumped, in basically how he was doing it before. But obviously that's not all either, because he was saying that the quality and the quantity of the harvest was much better, that the amount of fungicides that he had to use was less. The amount of fertilizers was less because they were not draining into the soil and because there's so much soil depletion. So basically I want to go to just finish off with this example and show you, hopefully you got the point, on how important information is for everyone today, and that in agriculture we also need these kind of devices to be able to make better informed decisions. So once again, I want to really thank the team of Agrohack. Please come by the booth number 308 where we have our devices and you can talk to us with any information and tell you whatever you want. I will look forward to really talking to you there. Any questions that you have, any suggestions, comments, feedback or complaints, you can send them there. I'll be very happy to hear from you. And thank you very much for listening today. Thank you.